This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Let's bring in Myk Aussie right now for the people who want to lay it down now in the overnight hours on some Aussie football. What's going on, Myk? How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Crazy upsets. The Swans just absolutely smashed the reigning premiers, the Tigers, so we've got to be a bit careful. But, yeah, the game's a lot freer flowing, so the AFL's on the up again. It's great.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's the thing. And I got burnt last week, I guess, on one of these favorites where we thought was going to win and they didn't. It's tough. It's a dangerous league, man. Essendon right now, they're up by 19 on the Saints. The Bombers are on the Saints. That's it. The Saints screwed us last week. The Demons beat them, right? So what do you, any in-game thoughts now? It's almost a pick 'em right now. So who do you think is going to win between Essendon and St. Kilda right now? And Essendon have a 19-point lead.
I'd like to think the Saints can get up, but that's the thing, Gabe. We've been a bit rough on the Friday nights, but then on the Saturday nights, I've done really well. So, yeah, I kind of need to apologise a little bit. The Friday nights have been rough for us after I've hung up. So the Bombers have got a lot of injuries, but it just shows teams get the run on and they get confident, and the other teams take it a bit easy, and bang, it's all over.
All right, so my West Coast Eagles are coming up here, Myk. What do you think?
Whew. It is the game of the round. Absolutely. As you know, I picked the Port Adelaide Power Pap Smears to win the premiership. Big advantage for the Eagles at home on that magnificent new stadium, a hard, fast track. You know what? I like the Power, mate. They got so many good players. They've hardly got any injuries. Connor Rosie, the young star, is back. George Yargis is another star. They are a really good, fast-running team. Eagles, I picked to make the 8. I actually picked them to come 6th. Shuey's back in, but they're a bit slower. They start a bit slower, and I just think the Port Adelaide Power Paps might get them, Gabe, but absolutely ripper of a game, and I think it's pretty much a pick 'em. Eagles were the underdog by 1.5, and now I think they're favoured by 1.5. So tough game to pick, but it'll be a great game to watch.
Those bloody pap smears. You know what? It's tough. Hey, listen, remember last week, though, Myk, West Coast lost, but they were getting 12 points, I remember. I said, what the hell? How are they getting 12 points, this team? And they lost by 7. They covered the spread. Unless I'm crazy, they were getting 12, if you remember. So now, as you stated, it's like basically a pick 'em this game. West Coast and Port Adelaide. West Coast are a very good home team. You are right, Myk. West Coast generally are slow starters. I think the total's a little light here, bro, at 169.5. I'm going to take the over of this game.
Yeah, actually, I was about to say that. I was listening to some boys from Australia, and they like the over. And Kyle Johnson, a big AFL fan on the chat, he likes the over. And I agree, they're two fast-running teams. Eagles are a bit slow getting the ball out of defence, but then they go hard. So it should be dry and a fast track and the new rules. It could go over, but amazingly, the average at the moment is about 154 on the games, but some games are up to like over 200, and then some games are really low. So I do like the over as well there.
Well, you look at Port Adelaide, guys. They scored 117 points in week 1, or we should say round 1. As they don't call it weeks, they call it rounds. It's like they don't call it parlays, they call it multis. But they racked up 117 points in their first game. I know the Roos suck. But then last week, they scored 119. So that's pretty consistent through 2 games, right? 117, 119. I don't think they're going to score that much against West Coast. But you look at West Coast, guys, and West Coast last week, they scored 93. They gave up 100. They were lower scoring in the week 1. They went under. But it's a reasonable number here, Myk, between two good sides, 169.5 in a free-flowing league, as you stated suddenly this year. Okay, sign me up. Give me the over 169.5. And I'm leaning with the Eagles, but it's a tough one. It's a tough one, though.
Well, Kev, my dad, he picks the Eagles only because he hates the Port Adelaide Power. So I wouldn't go much on that. But Dad's unbelievable. Sometimes he picks the spread and he doesn't even look at the spreads. I just tell him to send me what he thinks, and he picks it bang on. So yeah, Dad's quite amazing at times. But hey, I listen to like about 20 or 30 hours a week of AFL podcasts. So I put it all together and then try and come up with my best bets, mate.
All right, so what about Carlton and Fremantle? This is tomorrow night. The Carlton and Fremantle, 14.5 points.
Yeah, the Blues, I thought they might come close to the 8. They've had a rough start. They're 0-2. The Dockers are 1-1, but got some big injuries. Because it's in Melbourne at the Marvel Stadium, I think the Blues, they'd be terrible if they go 0-3. And your boy, the favourite, your best name in football to
Eddie
you,
Betts.
your boy Eddie Betts is back in. Yeah, he's back in, and he's a star of the Amazon TV show. So Eddie Betts is back in. He's about 35 years old, had a great career. I like the Blues to win. Be careful on the plus-minus. The Dockers might get close, but the Blues, if they lose, they'll be in big trouble. They don't want to go 0-3.
Yeah, minus 225 on the money line. It is probably the best name in sports, guys. Eddie Betts. It's a great name. I think, it doesn't get much better than that. Eddie Betts. All right, Great Western Sydney and Melbourne. Great Western Sydney and Melbourne. The Demons, minus 9.5, Myk.
Well, it's the Greater Western Sydney. They play a few games in Canberra. So this is at the Manuka Oval in Canberra, the government city of Australia. Boring damn place, I believe. I don't want to go there. All the government workers. GWS, I'm disappointed. I picked them to maybe make the 8, and they've started really bad. They're 0-2 and 0-2 against the spread, whereas the Demons are 2-0 and 2-0 against the spread. I don't trust the Demons. That's the trouble. So, yes, I like the Demons to win. They are in form, but I just don't trust them. And the GWS got to get moving. I would take the Demons to win, but be very, very careful. Just for the fact I don't trust the Demons. Mentally, they can be a bit soft.
The late night anger management class continues. More with Myk Aussie on the other side. The Friday Night Freak Show. Bring it. Late night anger management class. Myk Aussie kicking with us. I am Gabriel Morency. Friday Night Freak Show. A little AFL talk here. We've got a couple more games to get to, but Myk, I see there's controversy right now. AFL star fires back at Dylan Alcott's shocking comment. Former Kangaroos player was not happy with Aussie tennis star Dylan Alcott's wisecrack about his team's Friday's humiliation. Former North Melbourne defender Sam Durden is ripped into Dylan Alcott on social media after the Paralympian media personality made a shocking comment about the Kangaroos' round 3 loss to the Western Bulldogs. The Doggies. I didn't know they were called that. The Doggies. The Doggies put the North to the sword. Man, you guys are the best. You guys say that? So instead of an ass kicking, they put the sword to them? I like that. They put the sword to them. Yeah, so the Doggies put the North to the sword on Friday in what was the side's equal 4th biggest loss in team history. North Melbourne were never in the game, suffering a humiliating, 128-point defeat at Marvel Stadium. Bulldogs forward Josh Bruce chalked up a career 10 best goals. Holy crap. Dylan Alcott took the opportunity to make a joke at the Kangaroos' expense. Legit reckon I could get a kick for North Melbourne at the minute. That's pretty funny, actually. He's in a wheelchair. So he's a Paralympian tennis player. And then, and then the tweet hit a sore spot for Durden, who returned on Twitter. For a sporting professional who's so vocal about the treatment with people with disabilities, this is a shocking comment. God, you know what? I think it's funny as hell. Your team lost by 128 points, and a guy in a wheelchair, a Paralympian tennis player, is saying that he would do better than you. I love it, Myk. What do you think?
Well, I picked the Kangaroos to come bottom, and the sad thing is there's probably 200 players in all the other leagues, the SANFL and the country leagues, that will be better than those Kangaroos players, because sometimes teams go too young, and I don't mind that, but I tell you what, the guy on the chat right now, your SportsGrid chat, I'm not even going to mention its alien's name. He's talking about me doing disgusting things to kangaroos on your chat. So that guy needs to go down, and he needs to shut his mouth big time, because I know that guy is a real person. Now, if a real person is giving me... If a real person...
Mick. What are you reading the chat for while you're talking to us right now? Don't worry about the chat, Mick. Chat's full of psychopaths. We're aware of this.
During the break, Gabe. And the thing is, if someone is a real person, and if they want to mouth off online, I'm going to go back to them. If they're just a dirty, rotten troll, that's a different thing. But there's two people on your chat that need to go down and need to shut the hell up. I'm not even going to mention their name, but everyone, the long-time people, know who they are. All right, now I'm done. Let's get back to it.
Okay. So as I was saying... Good, well done, Mick. It's all right. I don't worry about the parasites, Mick. It's all good.
Drew? Dr. Drew should be... We need Dr. Drew back to mediate again.
So, listen. I'm on Dylan Alcott's side, all right? I'm on Dylan Alcott's side. How can anyone be mad at him? This guy on the ruse, and what the guy in the ruse is like pulling the card, oh, you should, for someone that has a disability, you shouldn't say that. No, the guy, if you're in the wheelchair, you get to say what you want. That's like, you know what I mean? You get to make the joke because you're in the wheelchair. That's why he gets to make the joke. I'm on Dylan Alcott's side here. I don't even know who Dylan Alcott is, but I like him now. What is he? Is he a media personality too, Mick? Is he a TV guy or something?
Oh, I don't actually know, Gabe. But like I said, I listen to about 30 hours a week of Australian podcasts, but I haven't heard of him.
Here he is. One point it called Alcott's tweet disgraceful. Someone else called it totally disrespectful. What are you guys talking about? You're talking about a football game. You guys suck. You guys, you Roos fans, I see here Roos fans are all pissed off. They hate this guy now. Come on, Mick. You're not up on your pop culture here. Let me look this guy up. Dylan Alcott. Dylan Alcott. Here he is. Dylan Alcott is an Australian wheelchair basketballer, wheelchair tennis player, radio host, motivational speaker. He was on the Australian men's national wheelchair basketball team, known as the Australian Rollers. Love it. Great name. Man, just punch it in. Oh, man, this guy, Dylan Alcott, he's quite the character. He's punched his name in here. It's just coming up. Yeah, people are like, he's getting death threats and stuff over ripping the roos. Kangaroo fans are pretty sensitive, Mick. They lost by 128 points. They should be more mad at their team than a talk show host that's in a wheelchair for saying that he can score on them. I like how he said, I reckon I could kick a goal against these guys. And now here's another story. Sexologist Chantal Oaten talks sex, consent, relationship with Dylan Alcott. It sounds like Dylan Alcott's got quite the life going on here, Mick. We got to get him on the show.
He sounds like someone I'd like to talk to. Motivational speaker. I like him, mate.
Here he is right
really
here.
Good.
He just got his vaccination 4 days ago. I see him on Twitter here. He's giving his thumbs up. He's getting vaccinated. What the media's flipping out in Australia. Well, you guys are crazy, Mick. You're crazy too. Oh, you guys are nuts. You guys are. That's why you're crazy people, Australians.
Honestly, the media in Australia is more snowflake woke than here, mate. It's unbelievable. It's so bad down there that it's out of control. I thought it was bad here, but it's bad down there as well. It really is. Just society now, and the kids and on their phones and keyboard warriors, and you got a few in your chat, the idiots. It's terrible, mate. I toughed it out, Gabe. I'll tell you something. I woke up with a sore throat and I'm getting a headache and a cold. I went for a COVID test this morning and I sat up till midnight just to go on your show. I should have been in bed at 9 o'clock, so I'm no weakling. I toughed it out, and I feel like crap. I should have had a COVID test this morning. It was meant to be a rapid test. I was meant to get the result back in 3 hours. I didn't. There's like 30 people all standing around there doing nothing. Big government waste of money. No one's got vaccines here in Canada. How many people have got vaccines here? You know what I do as a job, Gabe. I should have the injection. I should have had it a month ago, and it's probably 3 months away before I'm going to get the vaccine. The CFL's in trouble. We're going to have no crowds because no one's going to have it by June. Anyway, I'm not allowed to talk about the government because I can't vote, but I did today with Odell Willis online. He wasn't happy.
Myk Aussie's losing. All right, Myk. We're going to let you go just as the COVID's starting to get to you, I think. All right, so finally in close here. I'm betting some Australian basketball. This game's coming up actually soon. No, is it coming up now? I think it is. Sydney and Brisbane. Is this game starting soon? Sydney and Brisbane. A little NBL action. Let's see. Yeah, it is. All right, we'll get to this in a second. All right, what's the last game here? Are the Roos playing? We could bet against these guys. I'm gonna the Roos. These guys might not. They might not win a game. Myk, this team. They're not going to win a game. Like they're losing. Dude, they're losing by 128 points. They lost I'll look at the scores here, but what's the closest they came? Remember last week we were on Gold Coast. I was kicking myself. They were minus 25.5. What did they win by last week? Gold Coast, whatever the hell it was.
They smashed them.
All right, so they're not playing until they're off. What, they get a bye week? You guys are soft. Didn't think you guys did bye weeks in Australia, Myk. What's going on?
They got smashed by the Bulldogs. But the Cats should beat the Hawks. That's the last game. Be careful. Hawks are on the up. Cats are on the down, but Cats should beat the Hawks.
Right. Oh, you know what, Myk? The next game is against your guys. The Roos, North Melbourne versus the Crows, Adelaide. 17.5. Can you guys handle that?
Oh. I tipped the Crows to come second to bottom. I tipped the Roos to come bottom. The Crows are 2-1. They've actually amazed me. We've done well. We beat the Suns last night, and we're doing all right. So I'm actually happy about that.
All right, Myk Aussie with us. All right, Myk. No, you're a true warrior, Myk. No one can tell you. I'll question you sometimes about some of your comments, but I'll never question your toughness, Myk. You're as tough as they come, Myk. You're no snowflake.
All right, thanks, mate. And the Power Pat Smith Eagles should be an absolute ripper of a game. So just be careful betting. But, yeah, the AFL is really doing well.
You have no big multi on the way out here? What's your multi?
Oh, yeah, okay. I've got to go slow. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we're doing.
Don't give us numbers. Just say the team name. Just say the team name and move on to the next team. All right? Don't give us, the numbers and stuff. We got 30 seconds.
Well, this is what I do. The Cats and Blues, that's a 2-team multi. Then add the Demons, that gives you a 3-team multi. Cats, Blues, and Demons. And then they add the Power, so you got Cats, Blues, Demons, and Power. So I put a 2-teamer, a 3-teamer, then a 4-teamer. And the Eagles Power on the over. I like that as well. See you later. Have a great weekend, eh?
There's Myk Aussie. He still confuses somehow by stacking them like that. Bring it.